Welcome to the Knowledge Trap with Brother Z. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Glad to have my co-host on today. What up, Moo?
What's good with you, bro?
Nothing much. I'm chilling. Let's get into this Angel Reese story. One of the most dominant players in women's college basketball, LSU. They won a national championship, and right after the championship, she did this gesture to an Iowa player, Caitlin Clark. Clark was also Clark was also a very dominant player. She killed the tournament. She averaged over 30. So much respect to both of those young ladies. But
Yeah,
essentially, she mocked her with her hand movement, and it caused ruckus. A lot of people saw it as disrespectful and unsportsmanlike, whereas another group of people saw it as nothing serious because, as we said, Caitlyn had been doing that before.
yeah.
So, what's your just initial thoughts of the whole situation, or is it a situation at all?
Much props to LSU for winning the championship. They balled out. And also to Caitlin Clark.
Mm.
Hey, not I know that cliche for, white man can't jump, white girl, they can't ball, but hey, balling,
They
balling. So she got to get her props too. But you know what I'm saying? My whole thing is with this situation is it's kind of nonsense. We both played football, you know what I'm saying? So we know that competitive nature. So it's going to kick in, you feel me? And I look at it as it's just being competitive. Yeah, it's a bit of showboating, but it's on both ends, you feel me? And I feel like there's nothing wrong with that because that kind of brings out more of the intensity in you,
right.
feel me, to play better.
And it was such a minor infraction, if an infraction at all. It seemed like just a way to put a damper on LSU's moment when we should be celebrating, but it was just this little gesture that her opponent had been doing a
She
big thing
been
out of.
doing that to like multiple teams, if I'm not mistaken, and they ain't had no problem with her doing it, which I didn't either. I'm like, do your thing, cause she was balling. You feel me? She got every right to showboat a little. You feel me? But when the black girl do it now, it's a problem.
Right, right. And the president's wife, Jill Biden, afterwards, she tried to invite the losing team, which had never been done. She tried to invite them to the White House, which upset other people, and it's just one thing after another. Angel went on to say that she didn't accept the first lady's apology. She didn't want to go to the White House, and the other team, Iowa, they declined to go to the White House.
Oh, I
So
didn't know that. Though. I didn't know that, but she wrong. I'm gonna say this. She wrong for that.
Iowa's a predominantly white school, so they saying if LSU lost, would they be invited? And
Yeah,
nobody
would
think
we have invited them? And come on, let's be real. No,
no
no.
nobody thinks they would have invited LSU. But I watch these sports shows on Fox Sports and stuff with some of these, white analysts. Not all, but some of their perspectives was so skewed to the white coach's perspective. It's
Yeah.
like you can't even hear the blacks out. You get what I'm saying? Like how y'all gonna control our narrative, our experience?
Some of these networks, like they on the fences on both sides because they also work for the man, so they can't cross that line. You feel me? How I look at this whole situation, though, is putting Angel in like the limelight, which she
Mm.
should be in. It's like not in a good way. I feel like all this ridicule and shit. She shouldn't do this. She should behave like that. And man, she is a professional player, yo. You know what I'm saying? We allow a lot of these, even on the men's side, let's be real, we allow them to do their thing, express themselves in any kind of way. Which, come on, how many times we done heard cursing and all that and shit? It done got through the little senses and shit. Fuck you, motherfucker, I'm gonna put you on your shit. You feel
Mm-hmm.
me? But ain't nobody on the other side of the team really taking offense to it. It's a game, bro. We just getting intensity out of each other to bring
Right.
out our best. You feel me? And it should go for the women as well. I mean, I know we hold women a little different and look at them more delicately, but this is also a game. This is a professional game.
Right. And Angel went on to say she'd rather go to the Obamas and celebrate instead of the White House. And I kind of see her point of view, man. If people not gonna respect our mind, it's like I don't care if it's the White House, the Pentagon, the Blue House. We not too, We don't care about all of that stuff if we're not getting treated right at this point.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like a badge of honor. Why we gonna keep celebrating things at places that's been historically negative towards us?
Yeah. I wouldn't. And who I think it was her teammate who actually initially put out the tweet that, yeah, Michelle Obama, how about we just come over to your place instead, the Obama place. What Miss Biden did was like a slap in the face. If I'm not mistaken, Joe Biden kind of retracted that shit and was like, no, LSU is welcome.
I think it's just all tied into when other groups don't understand. Is like they looking at it through their cultural or racial ethnic lens, so they can't quite see and understand. And it's like, why are you trying to tell me what we're experiencing? Yet all of us saying we experienced this, and y'all say no, it's just whining. Oh, it's just being overly sensitive. But what makes you the professional? What makes you the authority of our reality? But when we say white supremacy, then that's offensive to them. But it's like a lot of white people, especially white men, some of them get up there like they just the authority. Like you, like I broke my ankle and you my doctor. No, you're not the authority, not the professional when it comes to the black experience. We are.
Exactly.
That's the point. And side note, uh, that young lady, Angel, she's very attractive. She's a young tenderoni. I didn't see her into this whole incident, but yeah, I like her edge. She's assertive, and she don't care what nobody think. So shout out to her. I see her being a big star one day, one way or another.
I like that she's brought to the limelight. I don't like the way she's brought into it, but because man, I've been following her from since Maryland. You feel me? So I know a little mama be balling. You feel me? Same with Katie. Like what she be balling. Like I've been watching these women since the beginning of the year, and they've been doing their thing. Yo, I think both of them are gonna elevate the game of basketball for women, which is needed, especially once they get into the WNBA.
Mm,
Man, boy, like
right?
they gonna be the faces of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I just see this as bias. Like when the mass shooter is white, then he got a psychological problem. If it's black,
Yeah.
he's an animal. Black kid get caught with weed, he more likely to go do jail time. White kid, oh, he was just experimenting. Do a week probation.
Mm-hmm.
Crack versus coke come from the same thing. Crack, you was getting 20 years. Coke, you was getting 6 months in probation. So when we see all of these things and these things exist, but certain people act like they don't. And there are good people from other groups, but it's just you have to understand. We know our experience. We got to
Yeah.
start from there. Every time we say something, we don't need a rebuttal or, sometimes just really listen and say, could this be true? Could they be going through this?
Yeah. No,
That,
I hate the racial dynamic. I hate that it just had to be like a racial thing brought up about it.
mm,
Like it's always black and white. It's always like us against the next. It's like, yo, man, just let people live out here and do their thing, man. Long
right.
as there ain't no detriment to the society and all that, man, let people be do whatever the hell they want to do. Let them express themselves the way they express themselves, especially athletes.
And stop judging them because they look a certain way or dress a certain way. You know, two
Yeah, I mean,
beautiful
I
young
know
ladies.
a lot of flack for that, but I'm like, man, I don't see nothing wrong, man. I like that, man. That it separates you from everyone else. You have your own personality. They make it like it's a crime to have personality. There's nothing wrong
Right.
with that.
You know the craziest thing about this? Everybody wanted to complain about what she did, but the person who she's supposed to offended was never offended.
Not at all. She ain't care. It's like I said, it's sports. Like another person who's an athlete will understand it. They're not gonna take offense to that unless you call out their mama or some family member or something. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But this competition.
Kaylee wasn't offended. She didn't want to go to the White House, so it seems like she don't want to be coddled. So it's like when it comes to offending people or harassment, it's the person who was offended. That's why you can't tell somebody that they wasn't offended. Just like you can't tell us when we offended, but other groups do tell us we shouldn't be offended. But she wasn't offended, but people want to be offended for her.
Well, that's the sad to say, the white privilege. You feel me?
That
We
goes
don't get that. If it was the other way around, you think they'll care? about Angel, that shit wouldn't even been talked about, bro.
Right.
Maybe in the black sphere, but not in the general society like how it is
Right.
now.
If I would have won and Caitlyn would have did her little again, everything would have kept moving. It would have never been an issue. But that's
Yeah,
the world we live in.
yeah, sad. It's a sad world, but hey, we just gotta stand on our own. And I love her interviews and little stuff she been putting out. She's standing all 10 toes, boy. Like I love that.
Right.
She ain't
Shout
backing down. She ain't retracting. None of that. She's standing 10 toes, and you got to, cause you ain't do nothing wrong.
And that's the new wave of athlete that I like, not the ones that's bound to sponsors and contracts. Speak up, let your talent speak for itself, but speak up and hey, let the dice fall where they may. But you
Yeah,
gotta
but
speak.
don't be too ignorant. Don't be
Right.
too.
Don't be ignorant, but Stanford was right.
Yeah,
Stanford was
you feel
right.
me? Yeah, you
Shout
gotta stand
out,
up for yourself.
shout out to Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Two dynamic young women. Can't wait to see them next year in college basketball. Appreciate you, Moo, coming on.
I appreciate you, dog. And this was a good topic, man.
Wise Counsel, Holistic Health and Fitness, also known as Brother Z. Tune into the Knowledge Trap. Appreciate y'all.
Hey, like, comment, subscribe, man.
Right.